Greetings, beauties. So, you know what? It's been a little bit of a strange week. I will say, the night before last, I was restless and I didn't get to sleep until about maybe midnight. Not that that's very late for some people, but for me, being a little farmer, it was late and I couldn't work out why I was feeling so restless. And I knew something clairvoyantly was going on. Turns out I woke up the next morning and I received an email from Linda Moulton Howe. So, for those of you that don't know her, she would have to be one of the most prominent UFO investigative reporters and researchers in our time right now on our planet. And it turns out I got this email at 1:49 in the like my time. So it completely confirms why I was feeling so restless. She was writing the email to me at this time. And long story short, Linda has, obviously, if you followed her work, I do. I watch her Earth Files live stream every week, most weeks when I have time. If I don't watch it live, I will watch it at a later date, usually at nighttime or something when I'm cooking dinner. And she has done so much research on about these races, these factions that are in our world. They're in our world, they're outside our world, they're inside the world, and it's a group or groups of ETs that have been conflicting with each other for millions and millions of years. And it's not, of course, it's not the first time I've heard of it. I've known about this for a very, very long time. Whether it's three races, I'm not sure, but I believe there is a group of um, there is a group of beings that there is some conflicting things going on, and it is heavily influencing what is happening on the surface of our planet. It's a no-brainer because we only have to look at where we are in 2019, and we still have people starving on our planet. We still have conflict. We still have war. We still have disease. We're using weather modification. We're introducing 5G, which I'm so totally against. And instead of helping our planet, there is movement and an idea of shifting off our planet and colonizing Mars. In your dreams, Elon Musk, it is not going to happen the way it's purported in the mainstream media because if Elon knows, he obviously, I feel like he has information about this situation so much more than, we have a tiny slice of the pie. He's got the whole pie. If anybody has any idea, Mars, what do you mean colonize Mars? Mars has been colonized for millions of years by native Martians. There are native Martians living on the planet Mars and have been even before we were here on Earth. So there's no amount of colonization. It's already colonized by the natives of Mars, or Masar is the way they pronounce it in their native language. Um, so whether there has been an agreement, I don't know, but I seem to think that what has been released in the public is not at all the truth. Something very unusual for us, but just because we've never been told the truth anyway. So Linda and I. So anyway, getting back to the whole call with Linda, I got this email from her asking me, can I please call you? Or if I can't call you, can you please call me? So she included her number to contact her in Albuquerque in New Mexico. And I missed her call. And then I called her back. And then she said, I'm going to record this, interview or this conversation with you. And so she then called me back, and we had a very in-depth 2 hour, almost 2 hour, about an hour and 50, I think it was, conversation about my experiences. Who she's mainly concerned with was the Nordic man from Aldebaran that I had that one encounter with, and and she asked me, have you since had any encounters with him? And I said to her, never. It was the one and only. I wish I could say I have had encounters with him again, but never. And if there is any encounter with him, it would be on a telepathic level. Because after this encounter and after many of these ET abduction experiences that I've had, my life has just propelled me in such a different direction. And, you know, like I told her, all I'm concerned about is going back to the natural way of life, preserving our planet to the best of my own ability. And that means growing plants, creating life from seed, propagating and germinating life creation, balancing out the planet in my little way that I can. That's what's most important to me. And I can't explain where that comes from because talk to me, 15 years ago, my life, my world was going in a completely different direction. So anyway, the way I wrote to Linda um, late 2018 because she was doing a lot of research about the Nordics, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to email her and just share my little encounter that I had. I don't even know if they're called the Nordics, but he looked like the typical Nordic being, and he was from around the star Aldebaran, the third planet from Aldebaran. And and so I emailed her, and I heard nothing. And I wasn't really expecting an email back, but um, then I get this email. What was it? January, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. 9 months later, I get an email back, and it just, the way that it had come together was just so quick and so smooth. I knew it was meant to be at this time, as everything is in the universe, everything is in divine timing. And so, you know, and even the flow of this conversation, I mean, I know 2 hours is, she would definitely not air the whole 2 hours because there was a lot of personal things in there on both sides. Um, but, don't, I think the information, it may be put up on her Earth Files channel. As far as I know, I'm not sure. I don't know what she's doing with the information, but I have a feeling that to some extent it's going to be publicized somewhere. So just wanted to give you a heads up about that. And yeah, that was my introduction to Linda. So anyway, wait and see what comes about from that encounter with her, if anything. I'm not sure what she's doing with that information, but we'll see. We'll see.